For Craig Bellamy, it's been a big week, committing again for a further 2 years. So that'll take him until the end of the 2028 season with the Melbourne Storm. He said the hardest person he had to convince was actually his beautiful wife. I think she was pretty keen on retirement.
She's an absolute saint to put up with him for all that time.
And Mrs. Bellamy had the final say. So thanks for lending Craig to us for another few years. But he just doesn't feel ready to hit retirement just yet. Obviously it is a thought, but not just yet. Do you feel like the last two grand finals have had any influence on his decision?
I do. Look, I told Craig Bellamy about 3 years ago that he should walk away and enjoy the fruits of his hard-earned and deserve to go play golf every day of the week, because he has changed the lives of many young men that have come through the doors of the Melbourne Storm. His success rate is phenomenal. But you ask him what he's going to do next, and he goes, what am I going to do, walk around and twiddle my thumbs all day long? I think he gets energy from young guys. He likes the fact that he can bring Sua Fa'alogo in now and, you know, mould him into arguably a really good fullback for the Melbourne Storm for a long period of time, considering Pappenhausen's gone. But if I don't know this for sure because I've never asked Craig this question, but if he had won one of the last two grand finals, and let's be real, they probably should have won. They were in a position to win one of them, at least one. I probably think he does retire. The fact that he's signed for 2 years, I think is a message to his team. All right, we've got 2 years together. We're going to get that trophy, and then maybe he will walk away after that. So I definitely think, because he's been rolling 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, the 2 year extension says he's trying to keep this group around, and they've got the best spine in the competition to do it. So they're in right pole position.
I know there's been a chat. I remember you telling me in about 2020, Kips was like, Craig will be done soon. Why would he stop? Like, he's top two in 8 of the last 10 seasons. I think they missed the finals once. He's still, like Wayne's still coaching. Why can't Craig coach for the next 10? Like, he's obviously enjoying it. He's the setup there. He's got Frank Panisi with him, who does an outstanding job. Why can't he coach for the next 10, 15 years? You
should never walk away from something that you love, something that you're still really good at, and considering your life is, you know, flexible enough to do it. Wayne Bennett obviously, you know, has a desire to continue on doing it. And, you know, Craig, I think while winning is everything, I think he really enjoys the responsibility of mums and dads allowing their young son to come into a football club, and he has an ability to influence not only them as players but as people. And I think he takes that responsibility to his heart, and maybe that's the thing that allows him just to keep going. And the fact is, he's damn good at his job.
He's a razor-sharp competitor,
yeah.
and that has never faded one iota. And he's in his mid-60s. He's got a life of experience in the game. He's got the wisdom, he's got the patience, he's got all of the experience. This is almost the perfect time for him to really indulge and become the coach that he wants to finish his career as.
Yeah, because if he doesn't coach, he probably starts up Bellamy's bunker again. So I think...
what about best stuff?
I think that Matt Tripp, the chairman and the board of the Storm, Panisi's there, they have gone so close in the last 2 years that, yeah, I think he really wants that one more trophy. And look what Wayne Bennett's done with Payne Huss at South. Maybe Wayne wants that one more too, because Payne puts them in the premiership window now as well.
That was one of the biggest stories, and we were talking about it a little earlier. It was kept watertight, so plenty more to play out through that. But stick with the Melbourne Storm, and Craig Bellamy it hasn't been the easiest summer. Obviously, the devastating injury and the brain bleed and subsequent seizure for Eli Katoa through that Pacific Championships. Eli is back, you know, at the club. He's doing light duties, but no guarantees on when he will return. So what does Craig do with... And Eli was in the form of his career, so what does Craig do now to fix that?
Yeah, he was, for me, the best back row in the competition last year. Like, for the last few years, the evolution of him since getting to Melbourne from the Warriors, he has been outstanding. I thought he was, other than Reece Walsh, probably the best player on the field in that grand final, and it is a massive loss for him. It can't be understated to lose Ryan Pappenhausen, to lose Nelson, and then to lose Ellie. It's a big hole, but they have proven, Melbourne, that they can fill those holes. And there'll be some guys, we might see him tonight, but there'll be some guys that Craig's worked with over this last 8 to 12 weeks that just fill into those roles, and we'll be talking about them as household names by round 10.
Yeah, they are big names and they're big losses, and they change the way the Melbourne Storm play. But I don't think that's going to be the biggest challenge for the Melbourne Storm in season 2026. Having lost a couple of grand finals, when you lose one, you have self-doubt. It creeps into the point that, can I do that again? Am I good enough? And you've got Harry Grant, the best 9 in the game. You've got Jerome Hughes, which is in the conversation for the best 7. Munster's the best 5'8". These guys have lost 2 grand finals in a row. Historically, not too many teams lose 2 grand finals in a row and even play finals again. The Dragons did it back in the day in 92, 93, lost out of the finals in 94. Roosters did it in the early 2000s, didn't play finals again. So I think the challenge for the Melbourne Storm is for their best players to still be confident enough to lead this team to victory. And they will finish top 4. I'm not saying they're not miss the finals. They'll finish top 4, but in terms of lifting that trophy, there's a fair amount of pressure for Craig Bellamy's best players that they probably haven't been under for a long period of time.
He's almost anointed the replacement for Ryan Papenhuyzen as Sua Fa'alogo, who has been an exceptional talent. He is razor sharp fast, and he's got all of those qualities you're looking for. As if anyone could fill in for Paps at number 1, it would be Sua. They've also got this other story that's still bubbling away, and now looks like they're heading to the Supreme Court with Zach Lomax. And Frank Panisi said everyone's disappointed to see it go to that extent. He said, we've got space in the roster, we've got space in the cap. We want to add Zach Lomax to the Melbourne Storm before the start of the year. It's fascinating to see this thrashed out.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. I think I read something today. It's going to come down to a few days before the start of that season. It'd be interesting to see where they put him in there, obviously, with Warbrick and Coates on the wing. Are they going to play him at centre? Are they going to play him at wing? Are they even going to get him? Like, it's kind of, there's a lot of questions up in the air. They're probably preparing not to have him, but he'd be an awesome addition to that squad.
This story there's so many moving parts, right? Like, why would Zach leave when he didn't have a contract? Just put himself in this position. I side with the Parramatta Eels on this one. Like, they had a player that was contracted, and yes, they decided to let him go and move on, but not to another club at that stage. So I think this is all about the Supreme Court and a court case that, a couple of lawyers are going to make a lot of money out and argue about the point. But look, at the end of the day, he's a very good player. He would be an addition to anyone, but he can learn the trade of defending in the centres under Craig Bellamy. He will teach that, but he's played his best football on the wing. Warbrick, Xavier Coates. So I don't know where this finishes. Does he end up at the Melbourne Storm? But I think Parramatta want a lot of compensation in return if that happens.
Yeah, you can understand that
Rightly
Parramatta
so.
certainly feel like they've been hard done by in terms of the Zach Lomax situation. Where would you play Zach?
Well, if you got Warbrick and Coates, Craig Bellamy can teach someone to play in the centres. Now, he has had some issues defensively, Zach, when he's played in the centres. But I don't see Melbourne Storm giving up Warbrick or Xavier Coates for Lomax. All
right, well, up next, we're going to hear from Raiders captain who is determined to turn their minor premiership into a major one in 2026. You're watching the pre-season challenge right here on Fox, and Las Vegas is only 2 weeks away. The only place you have to catch the triple header is on Fox League and KO.